What are you saying to yourself about yourself? Because that dictates everything else. So when I say, with my brain, you say, I can do anything. Ready? With my brain?
I can do anything.
Huh. So I'm not sure if it's because it's the last session of the day, or you're waiting for cocktail hour, or maybe because you haven't heard my whole presentation, but that didn't sound like you actually believe it. So we're going to try it again. With my brain, I can do anything. This time, a little more passion and enthusiasm, like maybe possibly you actually believe it. Ready? With my brain,
I can do anything.
Yes. And in fact, that's true. But often what happens is we tell ourselves the exact opposite. You have 60,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative. 60,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative. And my company's done the research, and we found that you recognize about 10% of your thoughts as being negative. That's a 70% gap in what you recognize and the reality. Your negative thoughts are either hurting, harming, or holding you back, or you can use them to help you. We are going to have them help you starting today. So think of a kid, a toddler. They say what they want, when they want, how they want. They don't know what negative thoughts are. The way they learn negative thoughts is from parents, coaches, teachers, peers, society that says you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, that's not going to work out for you. And then they start to believe it. And not only do they believe it, but they repeat it to themselves time and time and time again. Why is it I can remember a commercial I haven't seen in 30 years, not only the lyrics, but visually remember it? Something resonated with me. The same thing happens with your negative thoughts. The ones you repeat to yourself, something resonates with you. Think of all the thoughts you have a day. 60,000. 48,000 negative thoughts a day. The ones you remember are the ones that resonate with you, are the ones that you repeat to yourself over and over and over. And they are holding you back. So how many people in here by a show of hands have ever said, that's a really great idea. Ooh, I'm so going to do that. You know what? I need to do that, and never done it. Right? Most people have. What happens is you make a decision, sounds great, but something happens when you're not communicating it to your body and then putting your body in action. So you make a decision, you have to communicate that decision to your body and put your body in motion in order to create change. And when you don't do that, negative thoughts come into play. They say, oh, what if that doesn't work out? You can't do that. Remember what happened last time? You don't want that to happen again. So you talk yourself out of it. So I call this 3 seconds to action. If you don't make a decision, or if you do not take action on a decision in 3 seconds, you're less likely going to actually take action on it because you will talk yourself out of it. The negative thoughts will come in, and you won't even just buy into them. You will believe them as truth. And you'll say, yep, that's right. And you won't take action. Think of it like this. Think of it like a runner on the starting line, right? They go on your mark, get set, go. And they start running. What doesn't happen is on your mark, why am I even here? I'm not as fast as you. You're so going to run this race. I suck. Yep, it's not going to work out. That doesn't happen, right? Because the race would be over and you would still be on the starting line. So how are your negative thoughts holding you back? How are they keeping you from taking action? A lot of what happens when we're having conversations with other people is we get stuck in our heads and start second guessing ourselves. We don't have the confidence. We don't know how it's going to go. And what happens when people are receiving that message is they disengage, they become disinterested, they start focusing on other things, so communication breaks down. As adults, we expect ourselves to be perfect. We expect, even if we've never done something before, that out of the gates, boom, perfection. And when it doesn't happen, we're disappointed. We're let down. And we don't really want to do that again. When my son was 3, he would get on the back of the couch, the highest point. He would jump off, hit his head on the coffee table and say, "Ouch, Mama, that hurt." And my response was, let's not do that again. And he'd say, "No, Mama, instead of jumping this way, I'm going to jump this way." And he'd jump this way, over and over and over. And then he says, "I'm going to go climb the refrigerator." Is that even possible? Well, he's here to show you it is, in fact, possible. Now, it doesn't hurt to think that you're a superhero, Catboy from PJ Masks, and that you have a superpower. So what is your superpower? Your brain is constantly telling you things. What are you listening to? Are you listening to, "I can't, I don't, I won't, I shouldn't"? Or are you saying, "I'm going to go do that. Watch me go do that"? It's not going to be perfect the first time out, but you have to give yourself permission to be bad in order to get good. But oftentimes we stop when it's bad. Negative attitudes will never go away on their own. Because people who have negative attitudes don't recognize they have negative attitudes, and they certainly don't recognize it comes from negative thoughts, so they're not doing anything to address the real issue. And what happens is negative attitudes spread like wildfires. So they go and talk to Sally at work, and what I call them Toxic Tim or Negative Nancy's. They go and talk to someone else, and they say, "I don't even know why we're doing this. This isn't going to work. We are so dysfunctional. Something's got to change, and nobody knows what to do." And so then you got Sally and Toxic Tim going out spreading that everywhere. And they're not just representing the team, they're representing your organization. Do you really want that person representing your organization? So what I found with working with organizations and sales teams is that they teach their people about job functions, job duties, job responsibilities, or teach their teams about cold calling, overcoming objections, or scripts, but they don't teach them the thing that I call the fundamental of everything else, and that is your negative thoughts. You think more about what you're going to eat, or more about what you're going to order outside at cocktail hour, or more about what you're going to watch on TV than what you're putting in your head. You think more about those things than what you think about. And when you change your thinking, you change your actions, that's when change actually happens. So let's try that again. With my brain, you say, "I can do anything." Ready? With my brain?
I can do anything.
Yay! That's so much better. We forget the power of ourselves, the power of our brain, that with our brain, we can do anything. We forget that. So we have to constantly and consistently remind ourselves of this.